Oh man, so Fantom down 4.5% at the time of recording as Bitcoin tumbles down 1%. The wider macroeconomy is falling as well, and Jerome Powell continues to tighten the noose on the markets. Fantom is producing a downside bearish pattern on the chart, which I'm going to share with you to share my latest price targets on where we could be heading and what opportunities that presents and what I'm doing in the market. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. As always, if you want to trade any of these, if you want to dollar cost average and buy for the long term, you can do so using BITGET and BYBIT, two of the platforms I recommend. Links in the description for both of these. With BYBIT, we'll be giving away an iPad when I reach 10,000 subscribers, and if you're signed up using my BITGET link, I will randomly in tomorrow's episode pick somebody to receive some free money, and we'll do this fairly frequently where we just drop free money into your BITGET account. So get yourself signed up on those. Now, as we can see here, I mean, we won't spend too much time here on Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is trying to nullify this head and shoulders pattern. And a lot of people have already given up on the head and shoulders pattern. But more importantly, I've spoken extensively about this Adam and Eve pattern. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, go back and watch my couple of videos from earlier today. That will bring you up to speed on Bitcoin. But as far as we're concerned, if I head over to the 5-minute chart on Bitcoin, all you can see is Bitcoin is hanging for dear life at this 20,000 mark. And if we lose this 20,000 mark and start falling below it, then we could be heading towards 18, and longer term, maybe even testing the lows of 17,600. That is the prognosis here on Bitcoin. Now, that has led to some consequential effects on Fantom, because Fantom was holding up pretty well. And you remember us saying that Fantom was just primed, waiting for Bitcoin to start moving. Fantom was sitting there at 31%, having really strong days against Bitcoin, and just needed the wider markets to start moving. But as we can see, the wider markets are not in a position to continue moving, and we've fallen back down to the downside. So now we are seeing that exact same Adam and Eve type pattern here forming on Fantom with a neckline at about 25 cents. If we were to take a rough measured move here on Fantom to get yourself a price target, what we can say is if we put that at the point of the breakout, we could be looking at very roughly 21 cents here on Fantom. So that is a pattern for us to watch out for if Bitcoin loses the 20,000 mark. Because if Bitcoin falls through that pattern, so will Fantom. And that could present some great dollar cost averaging positions for people without a position in Fantom. Now, I'm still holding on to the fact that I'm not quite loading up on Fantom right now, personally, because I've got plenty, right? I've been accumulating plenty. I was in Fantom early, and I don't need to over allocate on altcoins right now. But if you guys aren't into Fantom, if it's something you've been watching for a while, you love the fundamentals, you've watched some of my videos, you've looked at the tokenomics, and you want to pick some up, then do now. I mean, at 20 cents, you're looking at great position to be buying in, and a really good cost basis to be buying in. Now, obviously, start nibbling, right? You know the strategy that I always employ, which is I nibble. I won't go all in if we hit 20 cents or 21 cents, but I will nibble on the way down. As the price gets more and more suppressed and heads closer towards, if it goes down to 20, I would make those purchases larger. That's how I would personally do things, not financial advice. Now, let's head straight on over to Chainlink Foundation, the Foundation's website, where they've announced that they've now launched a partnership with Chainlink and their VRF. Okay, now the VRF allows you to do random generation. Okay, really important feature for anyone who's building a smart contract platform. They can now use Chainlink's VRF anytime they need something to be generated randomly. So you can think of all the different use cases, but many smart contract platforms, when they need to be built, want to be able to generate something from a random selection without the fear of manipulation in that process. Right? You can just imagine if they want to do a giveaway, or if they want to do some sort of allocation or anything like that, they will need something to be generated randomly, and you can do so using the Chainlink Oracle, using their VRF. So another good update here on Fantom. Now, I do want to share another chart pattern with you. And what this chart pattern is, and I'll show you it here on the 4-hourly chart, is Fantom was forming this rising wedge. And as you know, the rising wedge tends to fall back down to the downside. It's a continuation pattern. We entered it in bearish mode, and it's more likely to break out to the bottom side. You can see we've indeed got the breakdown to the bottom side, and the technical price target will be this first point at 21 cents, which matches up with the Adam and Eve pattern I shared with you, as well as potentially even testing some of the lows back at 19 cents here, okay? So those are levels we would have to watch out for. Of course, for that to kind of start to escalate and for Fantom to start really coming down to some of these lows, Bitcoin's going to have to go back towards 17,600, which I wouldn't put out of the realms of possibility. In fact, I think it's quite highly probable that we may go down to test some of those lows on Bitcoin, and therefore some of our favorite altcoins. Switching over to Fear and Greed, you can see Fear and Greed is sitting at 13. However, if Bitcoin breaches 20,000 and closes below 20,000, we can expect this reading to be much lower tomorrow as the fear starts to set in. The 20,000 mark is a very important mark for bears and bulls to fight it out, and if the bears win that battle, it could mean we will be heading to much lower, and maybe even creating a new low lower than 17,600 as well. Now, very important, what are we doing in this market? If you've not watched my video explaining whether we're in a bear market or a bull market, go watch that video. That was from yesterday. Also, go watch my Bitcoin video from earlier today, because in that video, I explained how long a bear market could last. How long could we be in this position? And how much time do you have to accumulate? Do you need to rush? Do you need to FOMO? Are we going to run back to all-time highs in the next couple of months? Or we got time to start accumulating? And what should your strategy be? Go and watch that video. I also explained in another video exactly what Jerome Powell said. And Jerome Powell is definitely tightening the noose. So make sure you go watch that. But there was one interesting snippet that Jerome Powell did share, which made me a little bit more bullish and gave me a little bit of hopium that things could get better sooner rather than later. So make sure you go watch the video on Jerome Powell, where I break down exactly what he said and the implications around that, and whether that means we could get a faster recovery to the upside. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy this type of content. Don't forget to smash up the like button and subscribe. If you want to buy Fantom, you could do so using my BYBIT link or BitGet link, and you'll be entered for a whole bunch of giveaways as well as the rewards that the exchanges offer. Links in description. Get yourself signed up. Thanks for watching this video. Go watch my other video here, and I'll see you in the next one.